Hi everyone, Linda here again with you from Gumnut Lane Jewellery. In my last tutorial, I showed you how to make this beautiful wire wrapped connector link. And today I'm going to give it a whole new life. We'll be turning the same link into a minimalist copper bracelet that can be worn symmetrically or asymmetrically, just by changing the chain layout. I'll also show you how this design can easily transform into a pair of elegant earrings. Plus, I've given you a little bit of inspiration, an idea for a second style to spark your creativity. If you missed this connector link tutorial, I'll link that right up here, and I'll also leave a link down in the description. It's the perfect starting point before making these new designs. So I'll just grab all my bits and bobs and we'll get on with the tutorial. Okay, so here we go. We're going to get started on this bracelet. Now, as you can see, I've got all my little bits and pieces, my bibs and bobs, whatever you want to call them here. I've assembled most of them already, just so you didn't have to sit there and watch me, putting all this stuff together. So this is our little component from last week's tutorial. And we're going to turn this into a bracelet. So we're going to start off, we're just going to give this a bit of shape because it's dead straight at the moment, and that doesn't sit particularly nice on your wrist. So we're just going to just bend it slightly, pop it on your wrist and see how it's sitting. If it's sitting nicely, if it's curved to your wrist, then you've got it pretty much right. Just a little bit more. Just doing it gently on both sides. Okay, we've got that's sitting nicely. So, this is a very minimalist bracelet, but you can do your base wire in a 16 gauge or 14 gauge, whatever, and you can really bulk it up and make it a chunkier looking bracelet if that's what you'd like to do. Okay, so I've got some links here. These are 18 gauge jump rings that I made myself, and I used this mandrel here to make those jump rings. So they're in 18 gauge, and then I've got a little row here of these are 20 gauge, and I used my other pair of 6-step pliers, and I used this smallest one here to make those. And then on the end I've got a 16 gauge jump ring, which again I use this mandrel here to make those. So what we're going to do is attach that first to our bracelet. Just put these away, grab my pliers. I'm going to grab a 16 gauge jump ring, and finding what's my top and my bottom. This is the top up here. I'm going to hook through there, then hook this one on as well. Okay, and then attach that to the end of my connector link there. Close that up. Okay, that's one side completed. I've also got another 16 gauge there at the bottom. So that's one side completed. Now for the other side, what we're going to do is going to take our 18 gauge jump ring chain, and I've wrapped a couple of the little beads that we used in the component, little 3mm faceted amethyst beads. So I've got this going here. I need to add a couple more jump rings. So this is basically what I'm doing here, is showing for people that are new to jewelry making and haven't seen a chain made before, because I know there's some people that haven't. So I've got most of my links on there, and I need to attach 3 more to make the chain the length that I wanted. So I'm just popping that on, and I'm grabbing that and then just walking those in together, going backwards and forwards like that. So we've got, get out of the way, it's 2. Actually, what I'll do is I'll count down and see, that's all right, it's okay. I'm just going to do what I was going to do to start with. I have so much going on in my mind at the moment. As I've said in previous videos, I'm in the middle of a move, and it's getting very close to the actual moving date now. Yes, I'm frantically packing and trying to get everything done, and under difficult circumstances. So anyway, you don't need to hear about my problems. So I've done here, actually I didn't do that one there very well. What have I done? I'm leaving 2 lengths in between. So 1, 2, I've got this one here in the wrong place. See what I mean? My brain is so scattered. So I'm just going to open that up. And you open those sideways, you don't never pull them apart. Taking that off. Closing that one back up again. Making sure I get a good close on it. Okay, so I've got 2 in between here. I just went down 1 too many. It probably wouldn't have mattered, but you know, it's a tutorial, so I want to make sure that I get it right. Closing that one back up. So then I've got, it's hanging on that one, so I've got 2, leaving 2 links empty and going to the next one. So 1, 2, I'm on this one now. I'm going to open that up, which is good because I didn't close it very well to start with. Look at that. Popping on one of our little beaded links there, beaded, you know, wire wrap beads. Okay, and then we've got 1 more. So leaving 2 empty, coming down to this one. I didn't go all the way to the bottom of this. I just find, you know, things dangling down really low can get annoying, like underneath your wrist. You know, right where your clasp and that is, it's can get annoying. So I left a couple of links vacant. Okay, so that's that one finished. So now we need to grab our little 20 gauge chain there, and we're going to attach the 16 gauge jump ring to the bottom of both of those. So through that one, and close that up. Okay, so then we come over to the other side. See how quick and easy this is to put together? Like, once you get all your little jump rings and that made, it's, you know, quite easy and quite fast. Okay, attaching that one. And attaching that one. Oh, it's going to say, why don't you go through there? But he did go through there. Okay, put these out of the way. Oh, I wish my mats would stay in place. I've bought all types of things to try and get my mats to stay still, and they just won't do it. They move all over the place. All right, let's pop this on. We're going to make a clasp in a second, so I just want to see the length and everything on this. I could have made it just a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter. I can add some more links to it. We'll just get on with finishing this off. So we're going to make a little clasp. I've got some, I'm using 20 gauge wire, but I'm suggesting you use 18 gauge. And why I'm using 20 gauge is because I sillily was packing up, and I packed all my 18 gauge wire up, and when I left one out, and when I looked at the spool, I only probably had about that much left on it, and I've used that. So yeah, no 18 gauge wire. It's all packed in a box, and I don't know which one. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, so I've got a piece of wire. My wire's still attached to my spool here. I'm just going to turn, and at the very tip of my pliers, I'm just going to turn a small loop, the smallest I can make it, like that. So just imagine this is 18 gauge wire that I'm doing this on. And I'm going to grab my cutters and I'm going to trim that little loop. Like that. And I'm grabbing my pliers, flat nose pliers, chain nose pliers, whatever you've got. I'm going to flatten that loop in. Get it as flat as I can get it. There we go, that's good. And then I'm going to grab my, what do I want here? No, I'm going to use my round nose pliers. I'm just going to, at the largest end of your pliers, I'm just going to turn a loop like that. I don't think I've actually ever shown making a clasp before. This is a really simple one. It's nothing to write home about, but it's a very effective in the fact of its use and the look and how it sits underneath your wrist. Okay, so we've got this little thing going now. I'm going to use my 6-step pliers, and for this one I'm just going to go this size here. So we want that facing that way, and no, sorry, I want this facing that way. So it's facing away from me. You can see the shape there, the angle there, I should say. And I'm going to come in and turn a loop, going back like that. So it's sort of like an ear wire, actually, isn't it? That's what it looks like. And I get my cutters, and I'm going to cut it off about there. Yeah, that should be all right. I'm going to grab my flat nose pliers, turn an end on that one. So I'm just turning it up, same as what you'd do for an ear wire. Now we're going to do a little bit of hammering. I was trying to get away with not doing hammering in this video, but most of my wire work consists of hammering. So I've got my block and my metal hammer. I'm just going to hammer the end of this. Just lightly like that. So not too much hammering and not too loud. And the end of that as well, just lightly. And then this little end here as well. They're the main points that are going to get any kind of pressure on them, any kind of, you know, where they could bend. And if it was an 18 gauge, of course, it would be even stronger than what this is. So then I'm just going to close that up like that. Come to our bracelet. Decide what side you want it on. It doesn't really matter. I don't think it matters anyway. Open our loop up here on this side. Pop our bracelet on. Close that up. Make sure you close that up nice and tight. You push it past your past the frame here a bit, and then pull it back out again, and it will sit nicely. Okay, if you don't have a tumbler, make sure you file the end of your clasp there so it doesn't scratch you. And let's do that up. And close that up a little bit more. And that's our little bracelet design. So it's very minimalist, but it's very pretty with the dangles on the side. We'll just pop that on so you can see. You could also put a little safety chain on it if you wanted to. All right, that's not going to close up on me. I need to make mine a bit bigger. I'm trying to get these dangles to come around the front. There we go. Okay, so it's got a little bit of movement in that on it with the dangles on the side. I also had another idea for this bracelet. If you're into asymmetry, you could do this on one side, and then on the other side, what I would do would be continue these 16 gauge jump rings down on one side, and don't put any dangles on. Oh, that come undone then. I'd see I didn't do one up very well. Look, I have to do that, redo that. yeah, just put 16 gauge jump rings all down on one side, or you could do oval shaped or something, you know, something along that line, but just leave that side bare with no dangles on it and have your dangles on that side. So you would have another idea there. Let me just do this little jump ring here that I didn't close properly and it came apart. I think that's the culprit there. It doesn't look like it's very well closed. So where's the other bit? Where are you? There we go. Make sure I close it properly this time. Okay, all right, so that's our little bracelet there. So then another idea for you is an earring. So using the same link, which is this one here, we're going to turn it into an earring. Excuse me. Goodness. So this is what the earring, finished earring, come around there. Finished earring looks like. That's it there. Hopefully you can see that. I've had a couple of ideas for this one here, but this is just the one I've got done at the moment. So let's do that. So we've got our link made here, and very simple, guys. We're just going to bend. So we're going to start in the middle. You've got you're supporting the frame, and you're just going to start bending your wires up on either side. Just bringing them around. When you get to a certain distance like that, you can support this part here and just bend your wires in. How easy is that, right? If it was any easier, it would be. All right, so we're just going to straighten these up now. That's what I mean when I say to you, you know, think outside the box. I've shown you a lot of links over the years, actually. I didn't get those very even. Over the years, and you can, I'm just evening them up at the moment. Yeah, so you know, just take a look at the link and see, have a think about it, what you could turn it into, what you could do with it, how you could change it. Close that up. Okay, they're still a little bit uneven, so try and make sure you bend them evenly. I didn't do a very good job on that. But, you know, as I've said before in many, many videos, it wouldn't be one of my videos if something didn't go wrong. Bring that down a bit further, even that up a little bit more. One I did off video came out perfectly the first time, and that's just, I swear to God, it's Murphy's Law. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut a bit off this one. See if I can fix this. Because this is the longer one. Annoying, annoying, annoying. But then it's also good if something does go wrong, because you can see how you can fix it. Okay, bend that back. And that one's out of kilter down here, so I'm going to move him back into place. And round this wire off here. There we go, that's looking better now. I think they're pretty even. Close that up. And I grab my jump ring and ear wire. So another very quick, you know, if you've already got some links made up, you can make a few pair of earrings. Close that up, and then we'll add our ear wire. And it's is it backwards? No, it's I thought I had it on the right way, and then I thought no, it's backwards. Okay, then close that up, and that's our, just make sure everything's straight. Okay, and that's our little earring design. Now obviously you can make these longer, and the only way that obviously you can make that longer is to make your frame wire, the base wire, make that longer. So you know, if you made a long one like this, you could have a nice long, and it's a sort of like a teardrop shape. So I think they're beautiful, and they're very original. But they're original because they're my design. So that's that one. Then I had another idea, just a, you know, a simple one, and this is just an idea for you, is to put a little amethyst or whatever the stone is that you're using. I'm not going to do that on this video. I'm just going to show you. Just put a little drop on the bottom. So that's your feature. And then just attach a little ear wire. This is an ear wire I made myself. It's got the bald end on it, and I did that by torching. So you would just add that, and that's another earring design for you. Okay, well that's all I've got for you this week. I didn't even know that I'd be able to get a video out this week, but I just have some ideas for this particular link, and I wanted to share them with you just to keep you going until I finish my move and I can get back into making videos. So this is definitely the last one before my actual final move, because I'm just not going to have any more time. Yeah, so I'll put these aside here. So if you like this design and you haven't seen this you know, the actual link thing here, I'll leave a link down below for you for that, so you can go and have a look at making that design. And if you liked the whole design altogether, then you'll love all my other link tutorials. So what I'll do is I'll link up here, I'll link a playlist for you. And that's probably the easiest thing to do, because you can just go to that link, and it will show you all my link designs that you can, you know, spend as much time as you want looking at it and getting some really good ideas for chain links. I also show you how to put chains in some of the videos, put necklaces together, necklace designs together, using different links, bracelets, earrings, all that sort of stuff. And you can get a lot of ideas from that particular playlist. So I'll link that here up the top. And Facebook, I'll leave a link down the bottom for my Facebook group. It's a private group. If you'd like to join, you're more than welcome. You know, you can get advice there. You can show your pieces. It's a lovely group of people. Everybody's always sharing. I share my stuff on there as well. So you can get inspiration and ideas. All right, guys, that's it from me. And as I said, you won't hear from maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks, then I'll be set to go again with at my new place with getting tutorials and that back out for you. Okay, guys, have a good one. Take it easy. Go out there and make something beautiful, and make sure you're having fun while you're doing it. Bye, guys.